Hello, members. Welcome back to Agora Legis, the platform of legal minds, a platform where we discuss legal principles and make them easy to understand for everybody. And today, still in tort law, we are going to look at the tort of assault. And we shall see what is assault, we shall define assault, we shall see what amounts to assault, we shall see the elements of assault, we shall see the available defenses for someone who is charged with assault, and we shall also see the remedies of a victim to the offense of assault or the tort of assault. So, without further indulgence, I'm Counsel Ben, and let's jump right in. Well, assault is defined just in a layman's language. It's an act that causes a person to reasonably apprehend the imminent infliction of harm or the imminent threat that someone is going to beat him or he's going to undergo imminent harm or yeah, something like that. So it is uh, the act that causes someone to fear, to apprehend fear. You put someone under fear. That is what we call assault, even though you didn't touch him. So it's immaterial whether you touched or not, whether there was physical contact or not. But as long as your action was intentional and pushed someone to apprehend imminent fear or danger of imminent harm, that is what we call assault. We shall define it. We shall define it according to the case of Reed versus Cooker. That is in 1853, where assault was defined as an attempt to offer by force of violence to do corporal harm to another person, accompanied with circumstances that denote uh, at the time an intention of causing harm to another person. This is according to the case of Reed versus Cooker. Still, with authority under the Ugandan legal framework, the offense of assault as a crime but is provided for under section 218 of the Penal Code Act cap 1 to 8. So that said, that is what we call assault, generally speaking, as a tort. So we shall see now some other instances of things that would amount to assault. Assault would amount, let's say, also to threatening words. Threatening words would amount to assault. This was emphasized on in the case of R versus Ireland, a case reported in 1998, whereby the court said that even on phone, if someone is talking to you and he threatens you of something that is imminent, because in this case, the plaintiff was talking with the defendant on phone, and the defendant told him that I can shoot you even from there where you are. I have your head in my, I can see your head in my camera right now, and I can even shoot you from where you are. So in that case, court held that that amounted to assault since it reasonably put the plaintiff under fear, under imminent fear, and he apprehended imminent danger of uh, of of harm. So that said, that is what can amount to assault. So we shall now see the element of the tort of assault. And the first element is intention. It has to be intentional. Someone who, let's say, was rushing out of his house, and you find him, let's say, yeah, he was rushing out of his house, and he meets you on the door, just getting out of his house. Even if it puts you under imminent fear because you were threatened, it does not mean that is assault because he never intended. So that it has to be intentional. And the second element of the tort of assault is what we call reasonable apprehension of imminent harm. That imminent harm is what we call apprehension of imminent harm is what we call in other books fear. When you put the plaintiff under imminent fear of, and he apprehends imminent harm to occur to him, to happen to him, that is one of also of the elements of the tort of assault. Following with, we shall see the threat or the imminent harm. So, still continuing with it. And the last one is the ability to execute the threat. You have to show that the defendant was in position, was in power, in a position that allowed him to carry out that assault. You won't say that just because someone told you I can kill you, but the guy is even paralyzed, he cannot even move from his chair. So you say that that is assault. So it has to be reasonable. The person who is threatening you or threatening the plaintiff has to have that ability to carry out assault, to carry out that threat that he's yeah, the threat that he's given. So we shall now look at who can sue and who can be sued for the tort of assault. Who can sue? Any person who has been subject can assault of to assault can sue uh, the person who assaulted him. But for the people who are minors and people with disabilities, they can sue through their legal guardians and the people who look over them. Corporate bodies can be sued, but vicariously if an employee in a corporate body during his course of employment and in his scope of employment, he's yeah he commits assault. Obviously, the company or the organization for which he is working will also be liable uh, to that assault committed by the employee. And we shall also see, in last instance, the public officials and law enforcement officers, if of course they act ultra virus, because even though a policeman is allowed to use force when he is carrying out his duties, there is some extent to which he cannot do it. So if he acts ultra virus, it also amounts to assault. Well, we shall now look at the defenses of someone who is charged with assault and uh, he wants to defend himself. First thing, we can look at consent. If you can prove that the plaintiff consented to the act that amounted to assault. Limitation of action under the limitation act, uh, under section 3, it shows that for a tortious action, you have to file in the legal action within 6 years. After the 6 years from the day of infliction of the assault, you can no longer pursue that action in court. So you can also bring that as a defense. You can bring provocation, but as a partial defense, because even though you're provoked, assaulting someone is still a tort. So provocation, but as a partial defense. Then we can go to statutory authority as carried out with by police officers who have warrant and they have mandate by the government to carry out their duties. And we can also cite out immunity if you are in a position that gives you immunity at the time of committing the assault. Let's say for judicial immunity, even if a judge presiding over a case in his courtroom assaults someone even verbally, he can never be liable for anything. Why? Because he was under immunity. He was under what we call judicial immunity, and that is provided for under Article 128 the of the 1995 Constitution. We shall look at the last defense, that is contributory negligence. Here, the the defendant can show to the court that, of course, I am one who is is also liable, but just to some extent, maybe it was just due to my negligence. So the court will hold him liable only to the extent to which he participated to the assault. So examples are theirs, but now we shall look at the remedies of a victim that are available for a victim of the tort of assault. The first and foremost remedy is damages. So here we shall see general damages, special damages, nominal damages, and exemplary damages. General damages, these are damages that are awarded for something that is not quite quantifiable. Uh, Special damages, these are really quantifiable because you show even receipt of what you spent, the money that you lost, and you're supposed to be compensated. Nominal damages, these are damages that are awarded, small amounts that are awarded just because a legal right was infringed. And lastly, exemplary damages, these are damages that aim to deter and to punish the wrongdoers from doing it again in the future. The second remedy is injunction. Uh, the injunction of court, you can seek for injunction in a court to prohibit the offender from doing it again in the future. And the last one is cost of action, as per section 27 of the Civil Procedure Act. So this, members, is in brief what we have as to assault. I really thank you for watching, and if you need any further pursuance with private tutorial session, our contacts are down there in the in the description. I urge you also to go and look at our other channel, Legal Mindset at the Bar with Counsel Hamza, where he even explains it more narrowly with more authorities, and that legal genius is going to put you on really on the point of the law. So that said, I thank you for watching and see you in the next video.